The Way of the Cross. The 10th station. I've been told that one of the most common nightmares is of finding yourself in a school or a party or other gathering and you don't have any clothes on. I've had that dream, and probably some of you have as well. It's really terrifying because it does have a meaning. And it has nothing to do with sex. It has to do with being defenseless and unprotected and vulnerable. That's one of the meanings that Adam and Eve discovered the hard way after they had disobeyed their God's clear command in the garden. Their contumacious action, a real slap in the face to the one who created them without sin, who had been their protector, and removed their real defense when they sinned. They pathetically tried to shield themselves with vegetation, but they knew that would do no good. Their sin had alienated them from God, from each other, from true selfless love, and even from the earth, their garden. As Jesus descended from his divine majesty, glory, and power, first to a feed box in Bethlehem, then to humiliation before his people's leaders and the Roman judiciary, even the evil Herod, and now on the hill of Calvary, his dignity had been stripped little by little from him. And now here he stands before the Judean rabble, stripped of the mock royal gear, his loincloth, and the seamless garden that tradition tells us was woven by the hands of his mother. She stands looking on as her beloved son feels scabs being torn from his tortured skin. No substitute vesture is offered. He lives everyone's nightmare in the sight of the whole world. But what does any man take with him as clothing into the life after this life? The funeral attire goes into the ground with him. Here is the man who is instructing his disciples for their mission journeys, tells them, take no money bag, no clothes except the tunic they wore as they walked. Christians in every generation since the time of Christ have seen his example and heard his words and have accepted that call. St. Francis, son of a wealthy clothing merchant, experienced the call of God and took those words to heart. He left everything to follow his master Jesus. Some of our oldest religious orders are built on a radical acceptance of the call to holy poverty. But all of us are called to that vocation in one way or another. When the disciples returned to Jesus from their mission trip, he asked them, "When I sent you out with no purse or bag or sandals, did you lack anything?" And they confirmed that they had had all they would need from the donations of the ones they served. So whether we are poor or wealthy in our situations, we are all challenged by word and example to keep only what we need for our families, and to give generously of the surplus to the poor and the needs of the church. That's required, not optional. In the end, even the garments Jesus wore were divided up by the soldiers who murdered him. This is God's way with humans, to give and give and give even to the divine humiliation and detriment. And for this we give him praise and thanks and our grateful lives.